Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Together we'll chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verses 31 to 40.
आख्याहि मे को भवानुग्ररूपः नमोऽस्तु ते देववर प्रसीद विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यम् न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम् श्रीभगवानुवाच कालोऽस्मि लोकक्षयकृत् प्रवृद्धः लोकान् समाहर्तुमिह प्रवृत्तः ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे येव स्थिताः प्रत्यनीकेषु योधाः तस्मात् त्वमुत्तिष्ठ यशो लभस्व जित्वा शत्रून् भुङ्क्ष्व राज्यं समृद्धम् मयैवैते निहताः पूर्वमेव निमित्तमात्रं भव सव्यसाचिन् द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च कर्णं तथान्यानपि योधवीरान् मया हतांस्त्वं जहिमा व्यधिष्ठाः युध्यस्व जेतासि रणे सपत्नान् सञ्जय उवाच एतत् श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमानः किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाह कृष्णम् सगद्गदं भीतभीतः प्रणम्य अर्जुन उवाच स्थाने हृषीकेश तव प्रकीर्त्या जगत्प्रहृष्यत्यनुरज्यते च रक्षांसि भीतानि दिशो द्रवन्ति सर्वे नमस्यन्ति च सिद्धसङ्घाः कस्माच्च तेन न मेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवेश जगन्निवास त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परं यत् त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानम् वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततं विश्वमनन्तरूप वायुर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः शशाङ्कः प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वः पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते नमः पुरस्तादथ पृष्ठतस्ते नमोऽस्तु ते सर्वत एव सर्व अनन्तवीर्यामितविक्रमस्त्वम् सर्वं समाप्नोषि ततोऽसि सर्वः
Nimitta matram bhava savyasachan. O savyasachan. O Arjuna. So efficient, so dynamic, so capable. One of the most important things for a teacher to have, or for the most to have, is a student capable of execution. You cannot become Chanakya if you don't have a Chandragupta Maurya. So you have to have the students who are capable of that kind of execution. And then when you have this combination of an extremely clear intellect and an extremely efficient execution, then that's genius level. Then the achievement is amazing. So he says, oh, Savyasachan. Savyasachan means you have achieved this much. You have achieved excellence in action. Before you come to Vedanta, hopefully, you achieve that you're more than capable of handling, of being the person capable of doing the job. Of course, that's not what always happens. So Vedanta also trains us how to be the person capable of the job. But the actual Vedantic education begins after we are capable of the job. Once we are capable of the job, like Arjuna is, he's capable of the job. He's capable of winning this war. He's the best warrior on that field. There's no one in comparison to him. I mean, the others are extremely great. There's no doubt about it. But he is like, like a little above everybody. And he's a good man. That's the other important thing. He's fighting. He has always fought for a good purpose. So here is a person, Savyasachan. Savyasachan literally means he can shoot equally well with both arms. He's ambidextrous. He can, whether he shoots with his right hand or left, he'll get the same result. So now, if you are a Savyasachan, first you have to make yourself Savyasachan. You have to make yourself that kind of efficiency. And having done that, Nimitta matram bhava Savyasachan. Then become Nimitta matram. If you try to be Nimitta matram means instrument. If you try to be an instrument before you have any capacity of action, then it's only tamas. You say, okay, I don't care what happens. If you say, I don't care what happens, you're not invested in this thing. You don't have the grit for it, or these corporate guys call it the killer instinct. Even in sport, they call it the killer instinct, that you're going to go for this thing. You're not going to leave it. I don't like the term killer instinct, but the idea is correct, that you're going to go for it. You're not fooling around about this thing. So having had that, okay, that you're going to get it, Now become now become Nimitta Matra. I don't know if it is clear, the distinction that is to be drawn. A lot of people say, oh, I'm doing my bit and whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. Not a correct attitude. Not a correct attitude. You'll never be an achiever that way. An achiever is a person who is going to achieve come what may. Just like come what may. He is going to go for it. Such a person must learn to do this without ego, without kartrutva. And if he does learn that, he will go through his journey like a hot knife through butter. But what we do is we take any Vedantic concept and make such a hash out of it that 9 out of 10 people who come to Vedanta create more problems. They create problems in their marriages, they create problems in their work. I mean, sometimes, one is just helpless watching how these ideas can be misunderstood. So to do without ego doesn't mean that you've taken your eyes off the goal. To do without ego doesn't mean that you are not dedicated to making sure it will happen. So, when people do volunteer work also, many people take a laid back stance. Okay, hoga to hoga, it's in God's hands. It's not in God's hands, it's in your hands. And if it is not happening, it is because you are not doing it well enough. So improve the way you're doing it. Doesn't mean, oh, I'm not doing it well enough, now let's all sit down and cry. No, you can improve the way you're doing it. Nimitta Matram. That's why the sentence is so popular and it's such a well-known statement, and it's such a powerful statement. I mean, most people in this country know about this thing. Nimitta Matram Bhava Savyasachin. Oh, Savyasachin, oh, thou who are so capable of dexterous deeds, become a mere instrument. So what is that supposed to mean? He's supposed to just relax and take life easy? No, he has to keep that dedication. He has to add or maybe subtract only one thing. What is that thing he has to add or subtract?
Ego.
And why does he have to subtract the ego?
It's going to hamper the efficiency of action.
Very good. Because he will become more efficient that way. Not so that he relaxes, but because he achieves more. And then, people don't understand this. So therefore they say, oh, I don't have time to do Vedanta. Now we are coming up with a 1 year course, and people say, oh, 1 year, I can't put 1 year into it. If anyone here believes that they cannot put 1 year in it, they haven't understood the subject at all. They just don't understand it. I'm not suggesting everybody do the course, but if your reason for not doing it is, I don't have 1 year to give, then you haven't understood it. You may have very good reasons for not doing the course, which is understandable, but not this one. Bharat. Traditional Vedanta education started in schools, right in Gurukuls. How is dynamism and efficiency to be had before? Why, Bharat? If it started in schools, traditionally, it is because everybody, when you were in 5th standard, there was a certain amount of efficiency and dynamism that you were to have as a 5th standard child. I'm sure when you were in 3rd, 4th standard, there was somebody who was monitor of the class and doing very well in studies and very well in sport and, very well in cultural activities. So why have you of the view that dynamism and efficiency is not had at a young age? Those who are that will show it from young age. Those who are not like that will be dull from young age.
No, but without Vedanta education, how is a child supposed to have that? I mean, get the best of his potential.
Yeah, he will not get the best, but at least he must exhibit his potential, no? So these boys, like Arjuna and all, they've been through that education. That is why they are able to have such a high degree of proficiency in, when they studied archery, when they went to the Gurukul to study archery and other martial arts, whatever they had gone to study, part of their education was all of this. That is why he can get away with saying Nimitta Matram Bhava Savya Sachin. No, he's not explaining. Now we need to explain what this line means. Krishna is telling him, all he's doing is he's helping him recollect what he has studied. What he has studied as information, probably, because he obviously has forgotten it. So you're right, you won't achieve those high levels, you won't achieve the additionally high levels, but your potential will be seen. Without anything, your potential will be seen. It's like a rose plant will give roses. Now, if you give it good fertilizer, you water it nicely, you do everything, you will get better roses. That's all it means. But you will not make a neem plant into a rose plant.
Yes, thank you.
Janki ji, I want to contribute in this is that the Vedanta education, if it is started from the beginning, I think it will make a lot of difference. We don't have to in the higher classes or in the higher education, we have to go for the lifelong learning with respect to the ethics and all. So I feel that it is essential to even for the bringing out the potential of a child, and this will help to bring out the potential of a child.
Definitely, that's why we're building the university, right? Because once we have people who have degrees in that, they can go to other schools and colleges and start departments, and that's the whole point of having a university, because it has to start from the top. And once we've trained people to do this, then it's just a matter of how much each person puts in and makes it grow. So yeah, exactly. So, where were we? Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. Beautiful statement. Become an instrument. There's another prayer, become an instrument of his peace. Let me be an instrument of thy peace. There's a very beautiful prayer of that. So let my efficiency, let my abilities, let my capacities be his instrument. Be his instrument means the better I get at something, the better I do his work. And if I can achieve that, what more do I want to achieve in life? This is it, right? It is not an external achievement that matters. The external achievement only matters in the sense of have I done all I need to do? Because if the external achievement didn't come, I have to question myself. Did I do everything? Do you find this confusing? Like on one hand, we say all that matters is you be his instrument and all that matters is you achieve. Do you find this confusing? Do you find this dichotomous? Because it's not. Is everybody clear about this? The external achievement is important because it's a wetting stone for us. If I did not achieve this thing, that means maybe I haven't done everything that is enough. But what is important is that I did enough, and I did it as an instrument of his. That means all my work was an act of service. Every bit of it, every time I moved a finger, it was an act of service. Can I achieve that? And if I do achieve that, my world will be beautiful, my mind will be beautiful, my life will be beautiful. Because that's really all there is to it. Is this clear? where I'm stopping is it's an important concept for us to understand, and more important than understand, not misunderstand. Because when we misunderstand, we become laid back and lazy and think we are with clear? Please, nobody's thing is on. I can't see anybody's face, no reaction from any of you. I have no idea whether any of this is understood or not. Okay, great. All right. Okay, let's not misunderstand this concept. Also, it might not be the time for success. Yes, Deepraj, that is possible, that it is not the time for success, true. But let that not be an excuse for our not working hard today. If in X area, it is not the time for success, by time for success means you planted a seed, now you have to wait till it grows. Are you busy planting more seeds? Or have you sat back and said, I'm waiting for the success to come? Is every day filled with work, work which is of service? Is every single day filled with this? What can I do to serve? How can I be his instrument? How can I allow the self to express itself through this limited personality? And as I allow the original nature to express itself more and more through this limited personality, this personality starts shedding its limitations. And then we are huge achievers. Nimitta matram sabyasachi. Verse 34. Dronam cha bhishmam cha jayadratham cha karnam tathanyanapi yodhaviran maya hatastvam jahima vyatishtam yudhyasvajeta sirane sapatnan Dronam cha bhishmam cha jayadratham cha Karnam tathanyanapi yodhaviran Maya hatam stam jahima vyathishta Yudhyasvajeta sirane sapatnan Yudhyasva jeta sirane sapatnan. You will conquer these enemies, get up and fight. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita, you hear him say, get up and fight, get up, man, get on with life, don't sit down and cry. A message that is like so useful in all times. Get up and fight, get up and work. Don't think that work is what you do until you reach a vacation or until you reach Saturday. Work is what we live for. Get up and fight. You shall conquer these enemies in battle. Yudhyasva, fight. Chetase, you will win. Rane, in the battle. Sapatnan. The Sapatnan are your enemies. You will win. Get up and fight. Don't worry about all this. Get up and fight. Do you realize how many people don't work because they find so many reasons that their project won't succeed? Most intelligent people use their intelligence to decide that every project is insane. And they're right. You know, when we started this project for university also, most people said you're insane. They didn't say it, but they thought so. Where are we small time people? We don't have anything happening, and yet you start a university and you're going to do this whole thing and you're going to get 100 and odd crores. How is this going to be possible? Where is the land? Where is the this? Where is the this? So many reasons not to do it. What about the important reason to do it? And you know, I heard once a speaker talk, and I thought he made a very interesting point. He said that any intelligent person will not work because It's insane, right? Why would you do it? Why would you put in all that time and effort and energy and, just take on unnecessary headache on your head when you can sit happily at home? It's insane. So why would you do it? It is insane. Then why would you do it? Can you think of the answer? Why would you do it? And nicely, Varsha, we are all sitting nicely at home, happily enjoying life. Why should we take on some massive projects and start doing them? What's the reason?
To purify ourselves.
But why that project?
Larger good.
That I love that thing. So if you look at it as you must love that, whatever you have taken. Or alternatively, you must see its importance. People go to war. Okay, these guys go to war, knowing fully well that they will die in that war. Protesilaus and Laodamia, remember the poem? He jumps out of his ship. The Delphic oracle had predicted that whoever reaches the Trojan sands first is going to die in this war. And the prince, Protesilaus, jumps out of his boat and touches first. Knowing fully well he's going to die in this. Then why does he do it? It's not that he doesn't know. He knows he's going to die in this. You think Christ doesn't know that he's going to die in what he's about to do? He's gone against the powers that be. He's gone and, done things that, it's insane, right? Why would you do that? Why can't you just quietly just teach people and sit quiet? No, he goes and does something insane. Knowing fully well he will die for it. But he understands something. He understands the importance of what is to be done. So Wordsworth says this. He says, passion to excess was driven that self might be annulled. Our passions to excess are driven. We long for it, we hope for it, we love it so much. This passion to excess is driven. For what? This is natural, right? All of our minds go berserk, falling in love with things. But for what? That self might be annulled. That thing that you're passionate about becomes more important to you than your own self. That is why women who love their husbands very much and they center their lives around those husbands of theirs, for them in Indian culture is represented by the term
Pativrata.
Parmeshwar. Yeah, Pativrata has the Pati Parmeshwar. Pati Parmeshwar. Parmeshwar Joyce means the Lord, God. So husband is God. Husband is God means what? Now all the feminists are all against this idea. Why should husband be God? Wife should also be God. The point is not whether he is God or not. The point is passion to excess is driven. That self might be annulled. That you forget yourself in the service of something, whatever that something is. Now, what will that something be? Why would you forget about yourself? You must either love it or you must see its importance. That's the only way that you will be willing to put up with the difficulties that you're going to experience. One of these two things have to be there. So he's saying, get up and fight. Okay? So your answer to that will be, any intelligent person's answer to that will be, bhai mera sir kha rahe ho, let them have it. No, I don't want this kingdom. Most of us in this class are, all right, we're comfortably placed. Why would we want to take on any additional role? As soon as my finances are in position, the youngsters even talk like this. As soon as my finances are in position, I will take retirement. I have been able to pay for my children's education, their marriage, bought myself a house, and then I'm going to retire. That is intelligent. But it is foolish. Because work is not to obtain. Work is for
Give.
Service.
Fulfilling
Duty.
vasanas.
Duty.
to give, to serve as the duty. Work is worship. It's not meant to be it's not an honorary degree to myself. So he says, forget all.
I had a
Mhm.
question, Janki.
Yes.
You said that there's two reasons why you would take up work, because one, you love it, or second, you understand the importance. But if we do it because we love it, doesn't that become like a mind-driven action?
That is how you use your mind. You should do it because you love it. That's what Wordsworth is saying, no? That passion to excess is driven. That self might be annulled. Now, this we know, passion to excess is driven, we understand. This is very clear to all of us, right? No problem understanding this, that we feel and we feel deeply and we're, now, all I fall in love and this and that. But what I do with that passion is I wanted to serve my self-interest. So if I love my husband, I want him to take care of me. Now, if I'm able to convert that into I love you, so I take care of you, then the passion is fine. Then it is respected. The problem with the passion is not the passion, is that we do it for ourselves.
So is this a way to use up your desires, vasanas, and put them to use for you?
Yes, that's your fuel, right? Unless there is some wind in your sails, how is your ship going to move? But now, if you don't direct these sails, you will crash it because of that wind. So we want that wind, but it has to be directed. That's why you have to have the sails. There's no sails only on your boat. Tadak, 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 will be thrown on the rocks. So it seems like we are against passion. We're not against passion. Why would we be? That would be the power, that's such a fuel. Varsha put it nicely. Say it again, Varsha.
We use this passion to burn our vasanas,
Yes.
use them up.
Yes, we use it. Correct. We apply it. We don't fight our nature. We go with our nature. You heard a million times, right? Follow your Swadharma. Go with your nature. Go with the passion. Go with it. But direct it. And direct it to what? To something higher, to something nobler, something better. More what I give than what I get.
So the enjoyment out of the duty would be a consequence of doing your duty.
The enjoyment out of duty is the satisfaction of knowing that you've done what you had to do. That's like that satisfaction is, think of it, in the whole day. Suppose you did everything you were supposed to do. Don't you feel a sense of satisfaction? Can you buy that ever? I mean, buy the world's best yacht and the world's best jet and the world's best gulab jamun. But the satisfaction of having done what you wanted to do, no, I can't buy that.
But that satisfaction comes after the action is performed. So, like, how does that become the fuel?
No, but the satisfaction is not the fuel. The passion is the fuel.
The passion is the fuel.
Satisfaction is a consequence.
I have to think about that. Thank you.
Janki ji, can this satisfaction can be a fuel for the next set of work?
Yeah. Yes, that is possible, but there is a danger in that, because then you start chasing the satisfaction and then you lose it again.
Okay, yeah.
Rajneesh, how to enhance selfishness? What? How to enhance selfishness? Rajneesh, you're asking the wrong person. That's not my field. How to enhance selfishness? You mean unselfishness?
Sorry.
Not to be.
Selfishness.
Not to be. Not to be.
Unselfishness.
How
Not
to
to be.
enhance unselfishness, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're
Yes.
asking?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Typo error.
So, how to enhance unselfishness? Everybody in the class knows that. The answer is
Higher goal.
he wants to enhance it. Assumably as a higher goal, now he wants to enhance it. How do you enhance it? What do you have to do?
Morning study.
Ah, there. Nitali, she knows because she has a very high goal. Now she has to enhance it. She has to go back to morning study. I don't know whether she's doing morning study. Nitali does wonderful work. She does this education for poor children. She's collected teachers from all over the world, and she teaches poor children online. Great work she's doing. Besides doing volunteer work with us as well, but she's also doing that. And it's an amazing thing that, you know, how much when you start doing unselfish work, how much time gets created, how much more we can do. The pity of it is that we are so restricted. We could have done so much. Not we could have, we can do so much, but we're so caught up that we don't end up doing anything. We're like in some kind of chains. Take up some unselfish work, do it. You will find that you suddenly got more time. It's an amazing thing. And then you take up some more, and then you find you have more time. But let me warn you, when you take up more work, it'll be terrible. The experience will be terrible. So what happens is everybody runs away. But that experience is terrible when you take up more and you're overwhelmed and you're saying, oh my God, what an insane act this was. But the thing is, if we can step out of our limitations, good God, how much we can achieve. And imagine, okay, how much of us, 37 of us in this class, if each one of us enhances ourselves, no, these 37 are enough to change the world. More than enough. Way more than enough. You don't need 37. Some of you want to bunk enhancing, you can do it also. But all of you don't do it, please. All right. So just enhance ourselves. So how do we enhance ourselves?
Morning studies.
Morning study. Why will morning study enhance ourselves?
It improves the function of the intellect.
It improves the function of the intellect. The answer is right, but remember it in answer always in context. So you're correct, because you see the importance of it more and more. You begin to understand it. You improve the function is correct. The answer is correct, theoretically correct. But what exactly happens is you begin to see the importance of these things some more. You value them some more. You understand them some more. And you say, oh, hell, am I an idiot for not having seen it before? How many people have felt this? Am I an idiot for not having seen this before? I feel it every day, must frankly tell you. Do you feel it too? How can I not see this? How much we miss in the knowledge. You know, in France, you're going to go back and start all over again. Because anyway, many new people will come also. But you're going to start all over again. Isn't it a great thing? To read again what you studied right at the beginning, the first most basic principles. And to see them again in a different light. To see and to know that when you heard them then, what happened? Why didn't you get it? What my guru told me 30 years ago, I remember today, and I say, he told me then, why didn't I get it? I got it, but I didn't really get it. So, through the process of morning study, to answer the question, we enhance our unselfishness. So, just become more aware, understand the ramifications of everything more, see how every one of these principles is applicable to every aspect of life. That's what morning study does. So
Jankiji, so the natural consequence of this better understanding would be the application of other two yogas or three yogas for the rest of the day, right?
of course, yes, of course. Everything, na, because your intellect, like what did Deepak function has improved. So everything, it's almost like you have a light on it. You were doing it in the dark, and now you're shedding light in doing it. So you're doing it better. When you do your yoga practices also, you will say, or you do your exercises also, you'll say, okay, I'm doing this better. You can see for yourself. Because now you're doing it. It's almost like you were doing something in the dark, but now you're doing it with a little bit of light. And then as the light grows, then you start seeing more stuff.
Thank you.
Jankiji,
Hmm?
Jankiji, this last verse, no, it is mentioned nimitta matra bhava sabha sachin. Suppose somebody is rich, popular because of some game or whatever talent. So we can say it is nimitta matra. Even suppose the talent is not there, that particular talent is about sports, still he would have become, he would have gone to that level by through other some other activities. He will be excel in that field also, no?
Milind, your voice is cracking so much, I'm struggling to understand the question.
1 minute, 1 minute. Suppose somebody is very rich, popular, famous because of some talent.
Hmm.
Okay, suppose by cricket. He wouldn't have played cricket, still he would have gone to that level.
No, of course
Nimitta
not.
matra, no?
No, again you forgot. Savya Sachin, don't forget. The whole importance of that phrase is nimitta matram bhava savya Sachin. So if Sachin Tendulkar tried to play football, probably he would not be God. If Pele tried to play cricket, he would not have the hand of God. So in our field, we will excel. If we are in our field and excel and do it as a nimitta, then we will achieve not only excellence in the field, but excellence in human personality, in your development, which means you will end up a happy person.
Both things are required, not only one thing.
Yeah. He ends the Bhagavad Gita with that. Anyone remembers what is the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita? Come on, you all studied it. A few days ago, you all studied
You
it.
do as you.
No, last verse.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna
Yatra
Yatra
Yogeshwaro Tatra
Dhanurdaraha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti
Mama.
Durvanitir Matirmamam.
Yes. So the first few words you remember. First few words are Yatra Yogeshwara Hari Tatra Yatra Yogeshwara Hari Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara. So two qualities that every one of us require. Yogeshwara Hari Partho Dhanurdhara. What is Partha Dhanurdhara? Partha is another name for Arjuna, the Dhanurdhara, he holds the Dhanu, the bow. So the archer Partha, Arjuna the archer, and the Lord of Yoga. That means you have that huge ability. You are an efficient person, and you have this as well. This combination of knowledge and action is amazing. I don't know what to say. The Gita ends with it, so you can imagine if he's sort of saying, okay, so this is what's so great. What's so great is this combination. That you have that effective, that efficiency in action along with the knowledge. The combination of knowledge and action, or values and action, you touch the skies. And that is what India was, right? Look at the amount of geniuses it has created in the past. Now we are all struggling along. And this is our contribution now to the world. Let's tell the whole world so that all human beings can benefit with this knowledge. So two things together, Milind, the dynamism in action and the knowledge, the values, the understanding. So these two things put together create this fabulous personality.
May I contribute in it a little bit?
Go ahead, Mani.
Okay. In mathematics, we say, no, when we prove theorem, we say necessary and sufficient condition. So it means being Sabyasachi is necessary, and this Krishna's presence is sufficient. When two becomes one, then we have one. Then the outcome is there.
Yeah. So together they are necessary and sufficient. Together.
Yes. Thank you.
When this happens, then you got the whole deal. Are you also a mathematician?
No, but BSc level I have learned mathematics.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay.
So
Thank
we have now two people who are mathematically inclined. Swamiji used to think that we should only have mathematicians. So at least we have two now. So, all right, so clear about that now. Coming back to verse 34. Get up and fight, get up and work, for heaven's sake. Don't give us reasons why you can't work, why it's a bad idea, why X, why Z, why A, why B, why C. Don't waste our time. Get up and work. Do whatever work you love, do whatever work you care for, do it for heaven's sake. Okay, so that's what he's saying. Get up and fight. Yes, get up and fight. Jitasi, you will win. Why are you worried? Forget about all this nonsense. Just get up and fight with Yaswa. Fight. Dronam cha bhishmam cha jayadratham cha. Drona, bhishma, jayadratham, karna, tathan. Anyapi, yodha viran, and all the other, the viran, the brave ones of the war. Maya hatam. I have killed them. Why are you worried? I have killed them.
May I ask something?
Yes.
What do the enemies here represent? I mean, who are they? The enemies we are fighting.
Okay. Sorry, Joyce. I should have said that. Drona is his teacher of the art of archery. The person who has taught him this art, which he's about to use to kill him, that's his teacher, Drona. Bhishma is the person whose kingdom it is. Bhishma gave up the kingdom. He was a very, very sacrificial person. He gave up the kingdom because his father wanted to marry a girl. And that girl's father said, I will not let my daughter marry your father. Okay, this is complicated. Trying to tell Mahabharata to anyone will always be complicated. So there was this king. He had a son who was Bhishma. Okay, he already had this. And he fell in love with another girl. And that girl's father said that I won't let you marry the king because he already has a son. You, after the king is no more, you and your children will be treated very badly. So the king said, okay, fine then. And he went because he wanted to marry her, but the father said no for this reason. And he was very, very unhappy. So Bhishma, that time was a young boy. So he asked, so he tried to find out, why is my father looking so upset? And then he found out that it's because this father feels that I will get the kingdom. So he goes to that father, he says, I promise you, I will not take the kingdom. Your daughter's child can take the kingdom. So your problem is sorted. But father was a very smart fellow. He's saying, no, my problem is not sorted because you are saying you don't want it, though you are heir apparent. Your children will say, I want it. So I'm in the same problem. So he said, okay, so I promise I will not ask for the kingdom. I also promise I will not get married.
Okay.
So for the sake of his father, he gave up the kingdom and he gave up his own personal, for marriage and everything. Basically, he just renounced his whole life in that 1 second. That person's kingdom, these fellows are fighting over. The grandchildren of that lady are these. So they are fighting over his kingdom. So how can Arjuna fight this man? It was his kingdom to begin with. then Jayadratha and Karna from the other side. Okay, Karna is one of the most important archers the other side. Indians are constantly debating on whether Arjuna was a better warrior or Karna was a better warrior. Arjuna was a better person or Karna was a better person. They constantly debate the rest of their history with this thing, whatever it is. He was the one of the top guys the other side. Jayadratha was a negative fellow. Karna was a positive fellow, directed negatively. Okay, so these are the people he has pointed out. Okay. And Jayadratha also killed, is going to kill the son of Arjuna in the course of this battle. And therefore, Arjuna is going to kill him in the course of this battle. So, so these are all these people, all these great warriors are the other side. He says, don't worry that they are great because I have killed them already. They're already dead.
And so how does this reflect in our study, in our life, when we say, get up and fight and have the passion to do what you want to do? How does it reflect?
In your personality, sometimes good things will stop you from doing the right thing, and sometimes bad things will stop you from doing the right things. Both this good and bad is in the mind. You have to follow the intellect.
All right. Yeah, I cannot help thinking about the way I was brought up, which said the Christ saying, "Love your enemies." So I cannot help have this kind of conflict in my mind. How can I reconcile?
You love your enemies, but you fight them. You don't fight them with hatred in your heart. Love is what you hold in your heart. Fight is an action. So that's why he is asked to fight people. Arjuna loves these people. Drona and Bhishma are like his ideals in life. And that's one of the reasons he can't fight the war. That's why he's crumbled.
Yes, yes.
So
it all makes sense now.
Mm-hmm. So
thank you.
That's why the same Bible says, Christ says in the Bible, love your neighbor.
Yes.
As yourself. Love everybody. Old Testament says eye for an eye. Moses says eye for an eye. And nobody says, shall I follow Old Testament or New Testament? Because there is no dichotomy. We're both saying the same thing. When it comes to action, you follow your intellect. When it comes to emotion, then it's love for all. There's no hatred for the enemy. When there is hatred for the enemy, what happens is it's no longer justice, it becomes revenge.
Yes, yes. And this is the state of the world now. It's hatred and revenge.
All. First, before you punish anybody, you have to make sure you love that person.
Mm-hmm.
That just because you love him doesn't mean don't punish him. But you should love him before you punish him. Yes. Otherwise, like you've heard in the prisons and all, in those horrible prisons, sometimes the stories come out in America and all, what they do in those prisons, it's inhuman. I mean, it is like, you can hear these stories, it's like that. How can you behave like that? Okay, that person is whatever he is, but this kind of behavior is unacceptable. Why is it? Because you have stopped loving the person. Now you hate the person, so you do any really horrible thing to that person. So love everyone is the base of all spirituality. If you can't do that, then don't talk about being a spiritual. Philosophically, desires are enemies, right? Yes, philosophically, desires are enemies. Then hate the sin, not the sinner, correct? So the important thing for us to understand in this verse, two things importantly you have to understand. Number one, that please get up and work. Face the challenges that life has to offer. Don't say, oh my God, what will happen, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Everything will work out. Well, just get up and do the work. Just get up and do the work. That's not complicated. Just get up and do the work. Focus your attention on getting the right job done. That's all your responsibility is. Because if you do that, the end will be achieved. So don't worry about that. That's the first thing. Second thing is, the law of causation has already predetermined some outcomes for some people. Okay, let us say there's a very poor man. There's a very poor man, and you help him with his education, and he does very well in this world. So then you feel, I helped him with his education, and he did very well in this world. Please understand that outcome, that he was going to be helped, is predetermined in his life. You are a nimitta. So don't take it upon yourself. Now, that's what he's saying. So what people take out of this is, I need not do anything, God is going to do everything. That is the what it means. Manoj, you're getting muted, unmuted constantly. Do you want to say something?
No, madam. Sorry.
Okay. So two important things. One is that first you work. That is number one. Number two is that there is a law of causation that is making everything work. Means cause and effect is going on. So you just do your bit. If there is a rose plant and you put fertilizer and the rose plant grows and gives these beautiful roses, please don't take it on your own head. Because you're putting that fertilizer was only a very small part of this entire process of that whole rose plant. You could have put the same fertilizer in a neem plant, you would not have got the rose out of it. So you do your job. Don't think that job is all there is. There's lots beyond the job we do. But let us do our job. As long as you get this, we are good. You notice he's going on repeating this idea because this idea is always difficult and always misunderstood. We are not able to wrap our head around work and law of causation. We don't understand that our work is part of that law of causation. Either we say, okay, God does it, or we say, I do it. No, all this works together. So that's why he's going on repeating himself. The teacher keeps on repeating because he has to get through the what should I say, the hard layer of ignorance within us. Somehow break, no? The massive door, imagine a massive door to a castle, and he has to get through that, and he's knocking on the other side. Can't even hear that knock. So therefore he goes on repeating. He says, I've killed them, you get up and fight. I've killed them, you get up and fight. I've killed them, you get up and fight. He goes on saying the same thing because it's difficult to get across. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll continue next week.
Thank you, Janki ji.
Hari Om.
Thank you,
Janki ji. Hari Om, Janki ji.
Thank you, Janki ji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki ji.
Hari Om.
Thank you.